A Match of Monsters by Jean E. Karam. Chapter 1. Time was running out. Elaine shivered as she felt the sharp chill through her thick coat. Already the mountains were preparing for the inevitable arrival of winter. Stronger, harsher winds, frost bordering the shores of the lake, and berries and animals disappearing as they do when the snow is about to set in. It was all making her chores very difficult to complete, as she had to travel further and further from home to find enough berries or herbs to fill her basket. The more she wandered, the more tired she became. Just yesterday, Elaine had been so exhausted that she had mistaken belladonna for blueberries as she stumbled back to the cabin she shared with her family. Mother had scolded her harshly. Elaine was determined not to make the mistake again, and now she had walked so far from home that even with the sun beginning to set, she was still hours from home. She would never make it in time, and she knew better than to dare try. Those that prowled under the moonlight were not for humans like herself to survive an encounter with. She could not run either, for if she did, all the hard work that she had gathered in her basket would spill out. She would come home empty and face her mother's wrath. No one in her little village risked arousing the infamous temper of Mistress Rhonda the Weaver, a woman whose tongue could dull even the butcher's blades. Knowing her mother, Elaine knew her punishment would be something horrible. She might even be forced to dig the next public outhouse in the village square. It was a duty saved for whoever truly angered Mistress Rhonda, and that didn't happen very often. The job was filthy, consuming time and energy until whoever had been subjected to it was too tired to be anything less than perfectly behaved. Mothers would threaten naughty children with taking them to be seen by Mistress Rhonda, and even though the mistress was Elaine's own mother, when her father or anyone else had leveled that threat against her as a child, it had been just as effective. No one, not even the village elders or the traveling priestess, messed with Mistress Rhonda, despite all the logic stating that the monsters crawling and hunting through the night were far more dangerous. 15 years of village life had reinforced a fear beyond that of even the undead when Elaine thought of her mother's temper. So even with the likelihood of her arriving before the last rays of sunlight left the sky back at the small settlement if she ran, Elaine would not risk it. Illogically, losing the contents of her gatherer's basket was almost worse than losing her life. So instead, Elaine would find a shelter close by that she could hide from the horrors beginning to stir.